All right, welcome to task 3, comparing. All right, welcome to comparing numbers. If we look, this one's going to be a quick one. All right, somewhere a long time ago, you guys talked about the alligator that likes to eat more. Now, if I brought my kids on here and I asked them if they wanted 8 Skittles or 4 Skittles, they would tell you 8. It wouldn't matter if I brought my 7-year-old on here or my 4-year-old. They would know that they wanted more Skittles. It wouldn't matter if I asked you today or 5 years ago, actually like 4.5 years ago when my daughter was itty bitty, okay? They innately know they want more treats, period. Any of you that have any experience with kids, you know this, okay? Even if you remember when you were a kid, you know this. Okay, so when we're comparing, we want to determine which one is larger. The alligator, the sign, the mouth eats the bigger number, okay? What that means is, it's crooked. Okay, I hope I can, oh my God, I will not be able to look at that like that, guys. There we go, okay. That means if we are looking, here is the mouth, okay? The bigger number needs to be inside the mouth, okay? It doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right, but the bigger number needs to be inside of it, okay? So if we are looking at 13 and 21, it needs to be like that, right? 21 is bigger than 13. Now, again, we talked about this left-right idea. We don't need to read it from left to right. So we can say 13 is less than 21. We can also read this, and we need to get used to reading this from an algebra standpoint. We need to be used to reading, to be able to read this from right to left. 21 is greater than 13. We also need to be able to switch this. So we need to be able to switch this to say this. Okay, that's a 13 in case you couldn't read it. Okay, we need to be able to flip-flop this whole thing and have the sign still be correct. Notice that when I switched my numbers, my sign followed. Now, I'm not going to say I switched my sign, okay? Yes, my sign flipped, but my sign followed my problem. My sign is still reading correctly because when I look at my problem, my sign is still correct. 21 is still the bigger number. The sign still needs to eat the 21, all right? It follows, okay? 91 is bigger than 87. 512 is bigger than 136. This is like almost ABC order when they ask you to line up and 2 people have like the same last name and they're like Johnson and Johns. All right? You're going to compare letter by letter until something doesn't match up, right? So as soon as something doesn't match up, that's when the comparison falls off, or, a number's bigger or smaller. So like with this 6 million, and 6.3 million, 6.2 million, the 6's match, but then immediately 6.3, 6.2, all right, 6.3 is bigger, therefore that is bigger, okay? For number 5, we're going to first write the numbers out. So 6,095, I just went for the easier one first, sorry, to write as a number. So 6,095, that's that one. This one's 6,523. So 6,523. Okay, so again, the 6's line up, but immediately we're comparing a 5 with a 0. So that one is larger. If we're putting in order from least to greatest, again, I will let you in on a secret, and I thought I was going to do it in adding and subtracting, but it looks like it came up here. horizontally and vertically. So remember, horizontally is left to right, vertically is up and down. If you remember that, like the horizon, if you're looking at the horizon, you're looking at the sunset goes left to right, right? Books will put things horizontally 95% of the time in math. They do it because they're cheap. They're doing it because they want to sell you the book for the most. We kind of talked about this. Your books, the cost of your book is ridiculous. If you can get away with renting it, borrowing it, not stealing it, please do. Textbooks companies, they don't care about making it easy to read. They don't care about fonts. They don't care about making it so that it's like the problem looks nice. They don't care about making it easy to solve. They don't care about any of that. They care about cramming in as much as they can in the smallest amount of pages, which is still like over 500 pages in each, and selling it to you for the most money they can. Okay? And what that does is, honestly, it gives students really bad habits because they see the way that textbook companies write problems and they think that's how you're supposed to be setting up your problems and that's how you're supposed to be solving your problems, when it isn't. 99% of the time, you are not supposed to ever set up your problems horizontally in math, left to right. The reason why is because 99% of the time, that is not the way math problems should be set up to be able to show your work efficiently. Case in point here, when you are comparing numbers, it is not easy on the eyesight to look left to right and be able to compare your numbers like I kind of just showed you with Johns and Johnson, those examples. So if I but here's the problem. It takes one extra step for you to write things vertically. I will tell you this, just like I told you in an earlier video, I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you to do extra work for the sake of doing extra work. If I'm asking you to do an extra step, there is a method to my madness. There is a reason why I'm asking you to do it, and you will find more success doing it my way. That is not me being a controlling person. It's not me being a control freak. That's not like my OCD coming out in mathematics. That is just me being real, me having enough experience to know that there are many ways to do things, yes, but there are sometimes easier ways to do it, and I will always give you the easier way, even if that easier way is one more step, okay? So, that said, if you take the time to line these numbers up, and again, we kind of talked about this when we were going over your syllabus, especially if you have problems lining things up, especially if kind of your lines wobble, especially if in the past you've ever had difficulty with again, in math, guys, all it takes, one number gets off and now your answer's wrong. Come on, that is heartbreaking. Be real with me, right? One number comes off. This is not like English where you spell a word wrong and you still get the overall concept of your paper or your, what you're writing, or your, whatever it is. Math, one number being wrong, your whole problem is off. That is frustrating, okay? So if I rewrite and put vertically my problems, I'm very easily able to say okay, they all have 2, they all have 5. But now, and this happened nicely, the way I did it, 0, 4, 8, they're actually all in, they're all in least to greatest because my next digits, 0, 4, and 8. So it doesn't even matter what the last digits are, but because those digits are in least to greatest. So I could write highlighter 2508, comma 2542, comma 2588. Put my square around it and I'm done. Okay. So this one, Very similarly, I'm going to write 260, 635, 253, 099. Okay, I know that they all have the 2's, so that doesn't help me. Okay, now here, 556. So I know that my biggest number is going to be that 2, oh my gosh, my highlighter, sorry. 2606535. Okay, now I just have to decide between the top and the bottom ones. So if I'm only looking at those, my next number is 2 and 3. So I know that it's going to be the 252, 395, and then 253, 099. Okay. And then for my last one, I have 84, 324, and 48, 537. And a lot of these they're very close numbers, so you just have to be really, really careful with transposing numbers as well. All right, so we have 8, 8, and 4. So, and be careful, because look what they did here too. Put in order from greatest to least. So it was least to greatest, least to greatest, least to greatest. Now it's greatest to least. So the 48 is going to be my least, which I want at the end. And then I have to look for my greatest, so my biggest. So now the 4's match. And here this 4 is bigger than this 3. So I want 84, 498 and 84, 324. Okay? And that's it. So try some, check my work. Always check my work. Check your work. Try the independent and let me know how it goes. Move on to the next.